last thing we have Jim Myers here talking about Operation Rescue. Jim, you're people. A lot of you pro-abortionists are saying that unborn babies are not really living human beings. Do you believe that? That's not the issue, Wally. The issue is the fact that today, abortion is legal, and women have the legal right to rescue. Operation Rescue is illegally interfering. Answer me direct. Answer me direct. The pro-abortionists, their main stand is the reason why abortion is legal is they're saying that a little fetus in a mother's womb is not a living human being legally and does not become a legal human being until the moment of birth. Do you believe that? No. If you don't, your audience heard the first part of the conversation. Don't you been hitting any people lately? Yeah, but just a little. Hey, Mr. Wally, what would you do exactly with the hundreds of thousands of unwanted and neglected children that would result from your caveman views? You exactly what would you do? You haven't answered me. You said that I told you originally that part of the controversy about abortion is that subject. It's very hard to make a determination exactly when a fetus becomes a human being. I don't know. I do know that it's legal. I do know that men have rights, and I do know that your right-wing fascist friends have perpetuated. Listen to me. It's a deeper subject. Children that would result from your caveman. We have Jim Myers here. We're talking about Operation Rescue. Jim, your people. Hey, Jim, a lot of you pro-abortionists are saying that unborn babies are not really living human beings. Do you believe that?
That's not the issue, Wally.
It is the issue. It is the issue.
The issue is the fact that today, today abortion is legal, and that women have the legal right to have them, and that Operation Rescue is illegally interfering with them.
Let me ask you, though, but I'm telling you...
They should be put in prison.
But answer me directly. I'm asking you a question. The pro-abortionists... Wait a minute. The pro-abortionists, their main stand is the reason why abortion is legal is they're saying that the little fetus in the mother's womb is not a living human being legally and does not become a legal human being until the moment of birth. Do you believe that?
No.
Well, then if you... Oh! Well, then if you don't...
If you and your stupid audience heard the first part of my conversation...
I'm warning you.
By the way, you've been hitting any people lately?
Yeah. Hey, I have to punch this little word out. Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Wally.
Wait a minute.
What would you do exactly with the hundreds of thousands of unwanted and neglected children that would result from your caveman views? What would you do?
You have not answered me. You said that
I told you originally that part of the controversy about abortion is that subject. It's very hard to make a determination exactly when a fetus becomes a human being. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I do know that it's legal. I do know that women have rights, and I do know that your right-wing fascist friends have perpetuated... Listen to me. It's a deeper subject. It's a deeper subject in this.
Hold on. Let me answer you. If you truly believe,
somewhere along the line it becomes a human being. I don't know.
While it's unborn.
Before it's born.
Before it's unborn. Before it's born, it is. Well, then
you don't have abortions in the 7th, 8th, and 9th month, you idiot.
Do you know that? Wait a minute. I beg to differ. Do you know it is legal to abort a child in the 9th month? Did you know that? That was revealed on AM Los Angeles in the 9th month. And you know what? Just to show you how horrifying abortion is. Now, I want you to... I'm going to tell you something very, very graphic, but I got to put this point across to this moron and to other pro-abortionists. Now, I'm going to repeat to you an interview that I heard on AM Los Angeles with Steve Edwards on Channel 7 here in L.A. I watched it, and Janice and I watched it in horror. A woman talked about her abortion, and her abortion, the way she had her abortion, is the way many doctors perform abortions. Now, I'm going to be graphic, but I've got to tell you, because this is how you can get the message across. The woman told on Channel 7 to Steve Edwards, she said, I had an abortion, and the way the doctor committed, a legal doctor, committed that abortion, he took a knife, inserted it into my womb, she said, cut the baby into pieces, and pulled the baby out of my womb one piece at a time. What do you think of that? Now this is the most barbaric thing. Should we allow that in America? Answer that.
I answer it that for a variety of reasons, women will have abortions anyway. So the question really is, would it be in safe, caring environments or in dirty butcher dungeons?
You're right. He is back for another round, and this time he's here defending porno art exhibits. Most recently, the Mapplethorpe exhibit, and he defends that. He says it's reasonable and good and so on. This is the ludicrous Rudi Krause.
Yeah. Rudi, I cannot believe that you would stand up and try to defend these vulgar displays, so-called art exhibits, these kind of things like the Robert Mapplethorpe photography exhibit, which shows homosexual lovers in action. It also shows pictures of naked children in provocative poses.
Yeah, Wally.
Rudi,
those poses might be provocative to you, but they're not provocative to the art world.
Rudi, I am telling you, these art exhibits are nothing more than an excuse to show pornography, and these, believe it or not, these kind of horrifying art exhibits are partially funded by the taxpayers in the United States of America.
Wally!
I say, Rudi, I say this is obscenity, this is pornography, and I say we should close down these art museums, and we should throw the owners and the artists in the slammer.
Okay, Wally, this art has intrinsic value. There is a social disease that is prevalent. Mapplethorpe.
Wait a minute, Rudi. Speaking of social diseases, I think you have one.
Okay.
Wait a minute, Rudi. Hey, I think he has a diseased brain. What do you think?
You are trying to control what the artist is going to paint, what the rap artist is going to say. There is a value. Every junior high school student should walk into that Mapplethorpe exhibit. You have the wrong perspective.
Wait.
Listen, you have the wrong perspective.
Rudi, hold on.
You walk in and see this as a freak show. Here's the fat bearded lady, here's the Indian rubber man, and here's the Mapplethorpe homosexual with a bullwhip. That's important to see. This is part. You must be in favor of homosexuality, Wally, because when you see this, you will be repulsed by homosexuality.
Hold on,
you
Rudi.
and Bill
I'll tell you. Hold on.
Will not want to engage in that activity.
How dare you?
Wait a minute, Rudi. Wait a minute. Let's watch my mouth if I were you.
Oh, Bancroft.
Yeah.
You are just another one of the art police trying to take away our First Amendment right to freedom of expression.
Hold on,
here. You wear this. No. Put that on, Wally George.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
You show yourself for
I'll tell you where.
Fascist that you are.
I'll tell you where I'll have to put this badge. You know where I want to put it? Now, hold on. Rudi, you say, hold on. You say that these art exhibits and people like Mapplethorpe have the right to show this because it's freedom of expression. I say this is an abuse of our freedoms, and we do not let this kind of thing be shown in art museums because this is an abuse of the First Amendment.
Wrong. The obscenity laws in the United States are outdated. Here, check this out. Here. This is obscene. This is obscene in the United States. Here. Let me pull this off right here. Yeah, this side doesn't have one on, Wally. Check this out, Wally.
Wait a minute, Rudi. Wait a minute, Rudi. Don't try to win over the art that way. Hold on. Wait a minute, everybody. That is not the kind of thing. Hold it.
Hey, Wally, you can't show
Rudi,
this.
Rudi.
I had to put tape on this in order to show this in the United States.
I want to put some tape over your stupid mouth.
Wally!
Wait a minute, Rudi. Those pictures that you showed there are not the kind of things that they're showing in these art exhibits. One of them that Rudi is defending, Rudi wanted me to show one of these pictures. The kind of thing he's defending, one of the pictures.
Anti-AIDS posters.
Hold on, Rudi. One of the pictures, I hate to have to tell you this, he's defending one of the pictures there is a gay person urinating on another gay person.
You idiot! You're the one! This does more to discourage homosexuality! This is a national anti-homosexual plan! Operation Phase Out Homosexuals!
Rudi, for you to defend this kind of horrifying pornography as art, you have got to be a sick pervert! What a fantastic audience. How are you tonight, gang? Hey, hold up that Wally sign you got back there. Let me see that. Hold that. Show that sign on there. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That'd be before or after mayor?
Let me tell you people all across America that we have probably the greatest audience we've ever had down here. There they are. I can tell everybody in this audience is a real American. This is the one show on television that stands up for our great president and the conservatives in America. have a great show tonight. Now, we have some real weirdos on the show tonight, let me tell you. On the show tonight, to do battle with me, the mayor of West Hollywood. Steve Schulte is here, His Honor. Steve Schulte is here. He's going to battle me on homosexuality. I say the gays have got to accept the fact that they are responsible for the spreading of AIDS. And then we have on the program a real moron. He used to be a college professor, but the college got wise and kicked him out of there. His name is Robert A. Lee, and believe it or not, he says that he thinks it's very cruel to give the death penalty to murderers. Even those Marines who turned traitor and sold their country, he says, oh no, it's much too cruel to give them the death penalty. And then we have a poor misguided young lady, named Kile, and she's in favor of live-in lovers. Now, I'm going to tell Kyle that she's wrong. You should wait to get married to live together. And now it is time, David, to introduce our first guest, if you will.
Okay, here to do battle with you tonight on the question of homosexuality is the mayor of West Hollywood, Steve Schulte.
Nice to be here.
Well, Steve.
I see you have an intelligent crowd again tonight, Wally.
Well, Mayor, I see you've got a big following here tonight.
Yes, thank you.
Now, you are the mayor of West Hollywood.
Yes, I am, Wally.
Okay, now, you were on my show about 2.5 years ago.
Right, and I was brave enough to come back.
Brave enough to come back, and you did admit at that time that you were gay.
Yes, I did.
Now, you know, it's been about 2 years since I have seen you, Mayor. Have you seen the light, or are you still gay?
I'm happy to say that I'm still gay, but I think but I also want to say, Wally, what I said before, I think that's certainly a personal matter. I don't inquire into your sex life, and I don't expect
well,
you to
better not inquire into my personal sex life. One of the reasons that I have you here, Mayor, because you are a gay and you're in the limelight a lot. I see you on all these news shows. So I want you, and now you're in the big time again on Wally's show, right? Okay. Now, Mayor, in all seriousness, Mayor Schulte, this AIDS epidemic is sweeping America, and it really is a tragedy.
It's serious.
I think you people, you in the gay community, have not done it so far, but maybe you will tonight. You in the gay community must accept the responsibility for the spreading of AIDS in the United States of America. No, Mayor Schulte, why have you gays refused? Why have you shifted the blame all around? Why have you refused to face the facts of life and admit that you are male homosexuals are responsible for this deadly disease in the United States of America? Why won't you accept that responsibility?
Let me just respond to that, Wally. First of all, homosexuality has nothing to do with AIDS.
Oh, God.
And let me tell you why. Let me let me tell you why. Homosexuality has nothing to do with AIDS because AIDS is caused by a virus, it's a disease, and it's a tragic disease.
I gotta stop you right then and there. Over 90%. I've had doctors on this show. Over 90% of the AIDS victims in the United States of America are male homosexuals. Am I right? Yeah! Over 90% are gay males. Now, they say that the spreading of AIDS is by homosexual contact. Now, you may say, or others may say, well, Wally, how do heterosexuals get it? How do women get it? I'll tell you how, Mayor. It's because of bisexuality. A bisexual male has sex with a homosexual, then has sex with his wife or girlfriend and gives it to her, and that's how it's done, and you can't get out of that.
Let me just tell you, you're wrong in a few facts, Wally. You're wrong in a few facts. Number one, AIDS is spread by sexual behavior, and that's right.
By male homosexual.
By sexual behavior, and it doesn't matter whether it's homosexuality or heterosexuality. If we went to Africa or to Haiti or to Western Europe at this minute, where the ratio is 50% men and 50% women, it's not spread by homosexuals. In fact, and it started in those places first before it started in the United States, and I've talked to some of the same doctors I'm sure you have, we know that in fact it's spread among heterosexuals first. That's number one. Number two, it is also spread by blood-to-blood contact. So it doesn't just have to be sexuality.
How do you explain the fact that over 90% of the gays in the United States, over 90% of the victims of AIDS are homosexual males? How do you explain
Bad
that?
luck.
What's that?
Bad luck.
Bad luck. That's the weakest.
I don't want to be facetious.
No, listen, Mayor Schulte, you see...
I'm serious, Wally. I don't want to be facetious about that.
I'm serious, too.
It is bad luck because, again, if we looked at sub-Saharan Africa right now, or if we looked at Western Europe, where it's
I don't want to look. Hold on, Mayor. I don't want to look at Western Europe.
What would you say it is there?
I don't want to look at Western Europe. I don't want to look at Haiti. I don't want to look at the United States of America. I want to look at the facts, and the facts in the United States of America are that gay males are the prime spreaders of AIDS in the United States of America.
And what I think... what I think you might conclude from that, your conclusion from that, of course, is that everybody who's gay ought to change, which is a pretty far stretch of the imagination. What we might also say is that it's happening to human beings, and we ought to all be responsive before it gets to us, if nothing else.
Hold on, Mayor.
And so the point is that we ought to treat it as if it's a real serious disease, and we ought to find a cure, we ought to take care of those who are sick, and we ought to educate people who are not yet infected that they better do something about their sex lives if they don't want to catch AIDS.
I'll tell you, Mayor, I have the perfect solution. You people are always talking about, hey, safe sex, be careful, all this, all that. I resent the fact that you guys have made sex in America unsafe, scared the heck out of all of us, right? And I'm saying, hey, forget about all the literature, forget about all the AIDS education. I have the answer to it right now, Mayor Schulte. If you want to put an end to AIDS right now, let's pass a law today making gay homosexuality illegal in the United States of America.
Well, the problem with that, Wally, the problem with that, of course, is that you can't change my behavior and I can't change yours, and neither one of us really ought to get into that question. What we can do, let me finish. What we can do, as a matter of fact,
don't get violent with me, Mayor.
You've been here before. What we can do, though, and I think we should do, is we should warn people who are young, who are teenagers, who are sexually active, who are single and who are sexually active, who have multiple partners, that in fact they ought to be warned that there is a real danger out there, an epidemic called AIDS, and they need to be careful. That we can do.
Did it ever dawn on you, hold on, the audience, did it ever dawn on you, Mayor Schulte, that AIDS, and once again I point out to you, it's not just bad luck that 90% of the victims are male homosexuals.
Absolutely, and that bothers the gay community a great deal.
It bothers the heck out of all of us, doesn't it? Now, Did it ever dawn on you that maybe AIDS is nature's way of trying to tell everybody that homosexuality is wrong?
Well, I've heard that. I've heard that ridiculous argument before.
Ridiculous? I don't think it's ridiculous. Do you think it's ridiculous?
Next time I'm going to invite some of my friends, Wally. Okay. What would you say that Legionnaire's disease is? What would you say, in fact, that toxic shock is? What would you say that means, oh, it's different? Well, it seems to me that it's a disease.
Well, no, wait a minute.
And so you don't blame the victim.
Yes, you do. You see, hey, with measles or any other disease that you name, it is not
all of which are deadly.
Yeah, but it's not.
All of which are deadly.
Yeah, but listen, measles or mumps or anything else, chickenpox is not confined. 90% of them are not males or females.
But wait,
spread all across the board.
Legionnaire's disease.
But when 90% of
When you've got a serious leak, it's time for Leak Ender 1000. It fixes any leak fast.
with measles or any other disease that you name, it is not
all of which are deadly.
Yeah, but it's not.
All of which are deadly.
Yeah, but listen, measles or mumps or anything else, chickenpox is not confined. 90% of them are not males or females.
But wait,
spread all across the board.
Legionnaire's disease.
But when 90% of AIDS victims are homosexual males, that tells me something. Doesn't it tell you something?
But Wally, but obviously, Legionnaire's disease is limited to older service people. That whatever reason it is, we're not quite sure, but that's in fact what it's limited to. Toxic shock syndrome is limited to women, and in fact, it's a very dangerous kind of syndrome and a deadly disease. Measles and mumps are limited to kids. We don't blame those people for having the disease. We say there's really a serious problem here. We want to protect the uninfected. We want to take care of the sick. We ought to be doing the same thing with AIDS. It's the only thing that makes sense.
No, we shouldn't. And as far as protecting AIDS, as far as the AIDS victims are concerned, I say this. Nobody has yet said to me on this program, and I've talked to medical doctors, nobody has said absolutely, positively, you cannot catch AIDS by casual contact. Nobody says that. No, they'll say it's... That. I asked a member of the American Medical Association, I said, is it possible to catch AIDS from casual contact?
What do you mean by casual contact?
By you. Now, if you were to be here and kiss somebody here tonight.
Well, don't worry, I'm not going to be doing that.
But no, if an AIDS victim were to casual contact means kissing somebody, maybe sneezing in their face, maybe drinking out of the same glass, because the AIDS virus is carried in the body fluids. And so I've asked medical doctors, will you tell me absolutely positively that you cannot catch AIDS by casual contact? And they say, well, it is possible, but it's not probable.
But you're asking the wrong question. Why don't you ask them, in fact, if it's probable or what the likely chances are? See, the problem with that kind of information, Wally, very honestly, is that AIDS is really caused by two things. It's caused by intimate sexual contact. You can figure out what that means. And number two, it's caused by blood-to-blood transfer. So by telling people that casual contact is going to cause AIDS is making them, number one, fear the victims, and number two, is going to make them think, is going to make them think that what they do as human beings, sex or using dirty needles or taking a blood transfusion is not putting them at risk, and they're wrong.
Wait a minute. If it was not possible to catch that by casual contact, then these medical doctors and so forth and AMA would state categorically you cannot catch AIDS by casual contact. They won't say that. They'll say it's possible but not probable, and that isn't good enough for me. I'll be right back. Here about homosexuality and AIDS, and I want to ask you, Steve. I mean, you're an admitted gay. Don't you worry about getting AIDS yourself?
Absolutely. I think any sensible person who is sexually active or who is having sex, period, outside of a relationship ought to be worrying about having AIDS. But I think, well, I want to correct something you said before, and I want to be real serious here just for a minute. People who are listening, who are non-gay, who think they're safe, who think this is somebody else's disease, really ought to think seriously about what that means. And the problem with saying that casual contact causes AIDS is that all of us as human beings get involved in sexuality, we get turned on to people, lovemaking. perfectly natural thing, nothing wrong with it. I'm not moralizing here, but I am saying find out what's safe and what isn't, because this is not the gay community's problem. This is a much bigger issue than that, and we're going to see it get worse in the coming years.
All right, it isn't, it's everybody's problem, but it's because of the gay community that it's our problem too, and that's why I resent the gay community. Sure. It is everybody's problem now, but it originated in the United States of America in the gay community.
Well, we don't know that.
I know that. Do you know that?
We know that. Wally, all due respect, I don't think you do know that. We know that the largest number of people are gay who got it, and I said that's bad luck, and I stand by that.
It's not bad luck.
Absolutely. But the numbers are changing.
Bad luck. That's stupid, isn't it?
7 or 8% of the people who've got it are women, 15% are black, 15% are Latino, and those numbers are going to change, and people need to know that and do what we can do, all of us now, to try to stop it.
But I say, once again, Steve, I've got to say this, that the reason that you find heterosexuals, the reason you find women and men who are into AIDS have AIDS is because of bisexuality. That's what has spread it into the heterosexual community.
So are you also recommending that straight people stop having sex so we can stop herpes?
No, I'll tell you this. Hey, at least herpes is not a deadly disease.
Well, it isn't a deadly disease, but it's lifelong and it's real uncomfortable.
I blame the gay community for this epidemic, and I say it's irresponsible for you gays not to accept that terrible responsibility. And also, I say, as far as AIDS victims are concerned, I say until we find a cure, and until they tell me that AIDS cannot be transmitted positively, categorically, cannot be transmitted by casual contact, then I say AIDS victims must be isolated from society. What do you think about that?
The only reason, and any medical authority will back me up on this, and I'm not a doctor, I don't pretend to be one, the only reason to isolate a person with AIDS, if in fact that is necessary, is to protect them because their immune system is damaged. They are not a threat to somebody else who is a healthy human being.
We don't know that, Steve. We don't know that.
We do know that.
Steve, you say that you can't get it from casual contact.
Right.
They just arrested a guy a while back who spit at a policeman. You know what they arrested him for? Assault with a deadly weapon. Now, if you can't get it from that... That's true. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I think that's a case of overreacting, David. But...
All right, we got some questions from the audience. Come on up, please. Yes. Hold it. Quiet down. Yes. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hello,
your
my
name, please.
Is George Ingman. I'm from Rancho Cucamonga.
Yes, George.
And my question for your guest is, if there is a probability, even 1/100% that someone could catch this disease, because in office situations, which I am a owner of a business, I have a lot of men that work for me in the construction industry, and I'm very self-conscious when I go through my office to pick up a coffee cup, and I don't really know who's who.
Yeah, right on.
Well, my question would be, you shouldn't be drinking out of somebody else's coffee cup. I mean, I don't know why you're doing that. But let me just ask you, what do you know about the spread of a disease like hepatitis, for example? AIDS is really spread in a similar kind of way. It doesn't come from that kind of contact. So your reaction, you're making yourself even safer. That's fine. I wouldn't argue with that. But the point is, that's not how it gets spread. So don't kid yourself. It's like syphilis doesn't come from toilet seats. All those old stories we know were just bunk.
Let me ask you this, George.
It's spread by person-to-person contact. That's what you got to watch out for.
Do you, as a businessman, do you feel that you should not have to be forced to hire a blatantly open, admitted homosexual to your company?
To my knowledge?
Yes.
I agree with you 100%. I don't believe I should be forced.
Why would you? But see, okay, I mean, you have a right to your opinion. I think that's wrong, and in the state of California, it's against the law, so don't forget that, but you don't have to deal with me on that. But number two, and more importantly, okay, okay, you have a right to your opinion, so do I. More importantly, though, why are you saying because somebody's gay, you have to watch out for them? That's ridiculous. See, because that reinforces in your mind that it's a gay problem.
Because you talk of probability, and you've already stated that it comes from sexual transmission, and you told him to guess exactly how that was done. So I guess that between two men, apparently there is some interchange that causes AIDS to spread, since 90% of the victims are AIDS or homosexual.
But you're not going to be having sex with men.
Now
What do
we've
you
got
got
a
to worry
problem.
about?
Steve,
if they're in my office and I don't know, I get concerned.
Yeah,
Steve,
if you're
I
not going to
say
have
this,
sex
Steve.
with men, what do you got to worry about? See, then there's no problem.
Hey,
is
Steve,
there?
I say this though, but if there's going to be a problem in a business like his, and if a blatantly open homosexual comes into a company and says, hey, guess what? I'm gay, and all that kind of stuff, and proudly proclaims...
A brave person, we have to admit.
And proudly proclaims that.
In my business, yes, they're very brave
And
to do
if that's going to cause a problem in his business, then he should not be forced to hire a gay, should he?
No. Because you know, what if he doesn't like people because of the color of their skin? What if he doesn't like women? Is he you're gonna gain the same kind of leverage?
80% of my people are minorities. Deal with that.
Well, I understand, but I mean, you know, the prejudice is irrational.
All right,
Gay people didn't cause
Next
AIDS.
question. All right. Yes. Thank you, George. Yes. Next, please. Go ahead.
My name's Pam Swangle, and I'm from Chino.
Yes, Pam.
And I would like to ask the mayor, West Hollywood's known for its nightclubs and things, and I was wondering, the people are complaining about the noise pollution around there, and they're going to close our clubs. What are you going to do about it?
We're not going to close the clubs. I know real well about that issue. I mean, the clubs are an important part of West Hollywood.
Some of those clubs should be closed down, I think.
She agrees. But the problem has been, Pam, that they're right next to residential neighborhoods. People go to sleep sometimes before 10 or 11 at night or before 3 in the morning. They don't want broken bottles on their lawns. They don't want kids carousing or anybody carousing at 3 in the morning. So we're trying to control that a little bit, but we're not interested in closing down the clubs.
West Hollywood is
What club are you talking about?
The Troubadour and the Roxy.
They're not
and
going to
things
close
like
down.
that.
They're good clubs, and they're going to stay open.
Next, come on up. Yes. Yes, sir.
My name's Tom. I'm from Fullerton.
Yes, Tom.
I just have a statement for Mr. Mayor here, that God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Yeah!
Tom, wait a second. I mean, you seem like an intelligent person, so let me get my response in, okay? You can take it. You know, if you believe that God created everything, right?
Yeah.
Well, then how are you going to explain me?
Oops.
Yeah. Go ahead, yes.
God made Adam and Eve, and together that they're the real parents of you. So is the Lord.
I don't have any problem with it. My parents were straight. Your parents are straight, similarly. But I'm saying, if we all exist here, and there's a whole variety of human sexual behavior, including
All right, we gotta hurry along here.
we're okay.
All right,
you know,
yes,
he made us all.
Yes, go ahead. Yes. Yes.
I'm Judy from Huntington Beach. I was wondering, how come you have gay parades when heterosexuals don't go running around saying, yeah, I'm heterosexual?
Yeah, why do they have all those gay parades?
I think that's a real fair question. I think if you think of the gay community as a minority, okay, which is how the gay community thinks of itself, you've got Columbus Day parades for Italians, and you've got St. Patrick's Day for the Irish, and you've got other kinds of parades for other communities. You got a gay parade to show the minority pride. That's what it's about. That's a fair question.
Well, I don't think you have... Hey, I don't see that they have anything to be proud about, do you? Hey, Mayor, hey, listen, let me tell you.
Some would disagree.
Hey, the next time I see you, I hope you've seen the light and have become a heterosexual like the rest of us. And in the meantime, when I become president, I'm going to issue a thing, and I want the Congress to say it will be illegal to be gay in the United States of America. I'll be right back.
Thanks for making 1-800-WE-ARE-18.
Gang, our time is flying by. David, our next guest on the hot seat.
Next up we have Professor Robert A. Lee, who's here to discuss the death penalty and why it's wrong. Robert A. Lee. From the deep south.
Now, first of all, Robert.
Yes.
Hold it. You were a professor at a college, but I understand they kicked you out of there because you were too vile to be in that college. How do you think about that?
I'm afraid actually what happened is my views were a little bit too liberal for a college campus.
A little too liberal. Now, you've been on this show 3 times now. You know what? We have so many maniacs roaming the streets. You've heard about those 3 Marines who became traitors and sold their country down the tubes.
They just fell in love.
Oh, come on.
Oh, you want to put them to death too, Wally?
You've also heard...
You want to put them to death too?
Yes, you've also heard of these vile, vicious criminals, and you say nobody, no matter how hideous their crime is, he says nobody should get the death penalty. Now, why do you say that? For what reason?
Let me tell you why. Charlie Manson, for instance, should be set free for one good reason.
Wait a minute.
What reason?
You said Charles Manson should be set free?
Absolutely.
Why? Why?
First of all, he's been in jail so long we don't know what he actually did anymore. Secondly, he's a celebrity. If he was taken out of jail and set free, he'd write his memoirs, make $1 million, and he'd show up on the Wally George show in the hot seat.
Not on my show, baby. Hey, if I had anything to say about Charles Manson, should have been fried a long time ago. Now tell me,
should we put some hollandaise sauce on top of him too if we're gonna fry him?
No, I'm serious. Why are you against? You see, why are you against giving the death penalty to vicious, horrifying murderers?
This issue, I don't know why it keeps on. It should have been settled a long time ago. There's no evidence at all that the death penalty deters crime. Now, the question is, why would you think it does deter crime?
Oh, now come on,
It doesn't.
Robert.
It does not. All the evidence suggests that there's no relationship between whether you fry a person and whether someone else will commit a murder. There's no relationship at all.
Wait a minute. You can't tell me that if a murderer
put aside when Jesus came.
Hold on. If a murderer or a traitor like those Marines...
They're just lovers, not traitors.
If they knew...
What do they love? Hey, what's wrong with falling in love?
If they knew... Wait a minute. You can't tell me that if a murderer or a traitor knew, beyond a shadow of a doubt, if he was convicted or she was convicted, they would get the death penalty. You can't tell me that wouldn't deter them, wouldn't it?
No.
Of course it would.
There's no evidence that psychopaths, serial murderers, passion killers, these type of people have that the death penalty has any effect on them at all. The only thing the death penalty deters is you and me from committing murder. It does not deter psychopaths, serial murderers,
but I'll tell you,
molesters.
Robert,
it doesn't have any effect at all.
It prevents somebody.
But Robert, hold it.
Only thing you can guarantee is you put a person to death, that person will not commit another crime.
No, Robert.
That's the only thing you can. That's the only thing you can say.
It is the just punishment. I say
just.
An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth.
That is not an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. The Code of Hammurabi is not a form of justice, a form of revenge. And that's exactly what happens when you put people to death. It's your way of getting out your frustrations. Let's get back at those. Let's get a few back in return. It's nothing more than psychopaths like you that put people to death just in the same way the psychopaths kill others.
I'll tell you this. Hey, don't you dare call my audience psychopaths. You're the psychopath. And now, David, it's time for our next guest, our next victim on the hot seat tonight.
Okay, making another visit to the hot seat is Allan Dollison, and he's here tonight, and get this now. He wants to have church weddings for homos or gays.
Allan,
hold it. Possibly say that publicly.
Now, Allan, you have gone along with the ACLU on many things. Now you're going along on this. The ACLU and wimps like you are coming out in favor, whether you know it or not, it's happening right now. Some churches in this country are holding weddings, marriages for homosexuals. How can you possibly...
I'll tell you why.
Why do you support...
I have two very good justifiable reasons as why homosexuals
I'm sure you do,
should be
sweetheart.
allowed. Now, wait a minute. I want to establish, although I am in favor of this, I am not now, nor have I ever been, nor will I ever be a homosexual. Okay. But there are reasons why. Right now, we have a problem in this. Right now, we have a plague in this country called AIDS.
And you're part of it.
It is killing thousands of people, and if homosexuals are allowed to marry, then they will be monogamous and they will control the spread of AIDS.
How do you know they'll be monogamous, Allan? How do you know that?
Because if they're making the deep personal commitment to marry somebody, else, then they will. That is why they're getting married.
Wait a minute. That is not what God intended, is it? No. God never intended homosexuals. Marriage was meant for male and female. Am I right?
That is pure baloney. They have the morals of an alley cat, or they wouldn't be that in the first place.
Yeah. Marriage is a civil ceremony with a personal commitment between two people. Therefore,
male and female, not male and male. God did not create Adam and Steve. He created Adam and Eve.
I'm not here to defend the morality of homosexuality, merely that people that do choose to have that lifestyle should be allowed to marry.
But why do they want to marry? Why? Hey, if they want to shack up together in their pink little houses with their lace, I don't care what they do, but in this great moral country, we should not sanctify in the house of God, in churches, marriages for homosexuals.
If a church is willing to perform such a wedding, then they should be allowed to.
If a church is willing to perform a homosexual marriage, the church should be closed down.
Are you? Wait. Are you in favor of violating one of the most important constitutional rights, and that's freedom of religion, which would allowing the government to close churches because they don't happen?
Are you in favor of churches spitting in God's eye? Are you?
I'm in favor of any church allowing to exist in this country. The government has no constitutional basis to get rid of churches in this country.
And churches have no right in this country to break the moral laws that we hold so sacred, where I'll tell you, from the very beginning of mankind, man and woman married under the eye of God to join, to have children and have a family and live together in love as husband and wife, not husband and wife and
Are you trying to say all churches have a moral basis? What about the PTO Club and Jim and Tammy Banker?
Jim Baker has more morals than you have in your whole body.
Oh, really?
He has more morals in his little tiny finger than you have in his whole body.
Are you in favor of philandering and fooling around with prostitutes, man of the cloth? Do you think that? You think that's?
Hey, I would take Jim Baker and Tammy any day over homosexuals. What do you think?
Allan, a church should not be allowed to just espouse anything. You say, should the government allow that? Yes. What if a church said, we sponsor murders? Would that be all right for you? Of course not. So it shouldn't happen for homosexuals either. Besides,
the difference is that if a church sponsored murders, then other people are being affected, and of course the government has
other people are being affected with this too.
No, the two homosexuals are being affected.
What a wedding is. A wedding isn't just a license to have some kind of sex together.
What is it
to start a family.
Absolutely, right. That's right.
That theory has about as many holes in it as Mars does. People can procreate without getting...
Hey, speaking about holes, have you looked in your head lately?
People can procreate without marriage, so obviously...
But that's what marriage was set up for.
Well, then why can they procreate without marriage? Obviously, that can't
Allan,
be.
Homosexuals want to marry for one reason only, so they can start a family unit. You know what they want to do? I've heard many homosexuals say, yes, we demand marriages in churches so we can have children. And I say it is ludicrous to allow homosexual couples to raise children. What do you think?
Now, as you already know, I am not in favor of homosexual couples adopting children.
Well, then why should they get married? Now, what's the sense of them getting married?
Because those two people want to get married. Do you think the government should tell you whether you should marry Janice?
Hey, wait a minute.
What right does the government have to tell anybody whether they can or cannot get married?
Have moral laws. What if men want to marry animals? Should we allow that?
No! An animal is not a consenting adult.
Hey, all right. Well, what if a consenting adult decides he wants to marry a goat? Should we allow that?
No! You idiot! I'm not here to defend bestiality. Why?
Well,
you think that's okay?
What you are saying, Allan, is it's perfectly all right
if there are two consenting adults, not one, two consenting adults.
But it is against the moral laws of the United States of America.
What are the moral laws?
Were
these laws passed by Congress? Congress agrees with the constitutional right of the freedom of religion, and therefore the government has no right to tell churches whether or not they can
I'll
marry.
tell you, it says right in the Bible that the Bible openly opposes homosexuality of any kind. Isn't that right? Yeah! The Bible, wait a minute. The Bible opposes homosexuality on any grounds, and when a church performs a homosexual marriage, then that church is going against the Bible, and I say that is absolutely wrong. And not only
the Bible is not the supreme law of the land in this country. The Constitution is.
Well,
and
the
you have to keep those two things separate.
Well, you have to also realize that churches should be following the Word of God, and in the Bible, it never would condone the marriage of homosexuals.
And it never condoned adultery, but Jim Baker did that.
Why do you keep bringing Jim Baker back in, you lunatic?
You defended him. You said he's a neat guy.
Hey, hold it. The ACLU is behind this kind of thing, and you're behind it just like you're behind everything the ACLU stands for. And if anybody would look at this, I am beside myself to think that such people as the mayor of Santa Monica, who is also the pastor of a church, the Church of Ocean Park, the mayor of Santa Monica is in favor of homosexual marriages. Can you believe that?
Well, if the ACLU is so out of the mainstream of American politics, then why did 58 members of the United States Senate agree with them on the confirmation hearings of Judge Robert Bork?
Hey,
they are in the mainstream on certain issues.
Because they're idiot politicians, that's why.
No.
There were Republican senators and Democratic senators that supported that.
The ACLU is against everything that mainstream America stands for. They are in favor of abortion, and everybody knows that's murder, isn't it? They are opposed to standing up to their flag and declaring their allegiance to the flag, declaring their allegiance to the United States of America. Do you know that the ACLU was founded by communists, and the ACLU still is standing up for everything that decent Americans are against? They're in favor of abortion. They're against the death penalty.
So is it. Have you seen the polls on abortion? The American public is also in favor of the women having the right to have an abortion.
What a contradiction, Allan, that is. They're in favor of killing little unborn children, and they're opposed to killing first-degree murderers. I say you and all of you stand for are ridiculous, and I say we're going to put an end to homosexual marriages in America. I'll be right back. Now, David, our final guest on the hot seat.
Next we have not Gary Hart, not George Bush, not even Jesse Jackson, but this is presidential candidate Doc Castle.
Thank you.
A new one.
Now,
new hat in the ring.
There are over 100 people trying to be.
Is this a hat you put in the ring?
No, what is this supposed to be for, Doc?
Old Buck Buchanan is an honorary chief, and he was going to be here with me. He couldn't make it. So I'm hopeful they'll have me an honorary chief also. So I might become a president maybe among certain tribes.
Hey, Doc, you know what you can do with these feathers, don't you? Put these feathers where the sun don't shine.
I was going to say, Mr. George, you could have it as a present for your honeymoon.
Wait a minute, Doc. Don't call me Mr. George. Call me Your Honor, right?
Fine.
Hold on, Doc.
I remember the old...
Are you seriously contemplating running for president of the United States?
I'm seriously want to see if there's a grassroots supports for me and my program.
I want to tell you, the only grassroots support you have is to run you into a mental hospital.
everybody's entitled to their opinion, Wally.
Now, what in the world qualifies you? What qualifications do you have to run for the highest office? Nobody knows who you are. Do you know who he is?
Well, that doesn't eliminate me as a possible candidate. I'm a candidate.
What qualifies you?
Well, I have achievements in the science field, in the political science field. I've done things that are good in the humanitarian field, believe me.
Well, I understand that they call you Mr. Unbelievable. Why do they call you that?
Well, as a young man, I made 4 years high school and 3 A's in physics and math. He used to call us a whiz kid in them days.
But why are you Mr. Unbelievable?
Well, because I put forward a suggestion that we could go with fusion energy when everybody was celebrating fission energy. In my opinion, fusion was the energy of the future. And if we can obtain fusion energy, we could eliminate the hazardous waste that is present today. That's one of my programs. You don't hear practically any candidate emphasize that. I not only emphasize that, I say I can help resolve this and put it forward.
I hate to interrupt you, pal, but you're boring us to death. What do you think? Hold on. You have about as much chance of being elected president as Gary Hart has to be admitted to a monastery. Why in the world are you wasting your time? And worse than that, why is he wasting our time?
Well, there's over 100. Excuse me,
your idea on fusion is fine. They're getting energy from that, but it isn't something that you can do politically. You can't just say, "Hey, I'm for getting energy from fusion," and that happens.
I can see
they can't even do it yet. They can't do it yet, except.
Hey, what else do you do for a living? I hope besides collecting welfare. What do you think?
No, I'm independent operator in the security business.
Are you a Republican or a Democrat?
I'm for Pat Robinson and the Republicans.
No.
Let me finish, please. I think the best 2 candidates would be Pat Robinson and myself.
Oh, wait. Hey,
2 Christian family men with the highest ideals.
To show you how stupid you are, it's Pat Robertson, not Robinson.
Excuse me. My diction was a little slurred.
So was your brain.
No, sir. Pat Robertson. But I understand that you're for Pat Robinson, so then you're contradicting your own mentality, sir.
Hey, watch my lips. Robertson. Let's say it together.
Robertson.
We got it.
Robertson. Now try
let's say it together.
Now you try it.
He's a good Christian and family man, and so am I a good Christian
What's
family
his name?
man.
Say his name.
Pat Robertson.
Right.
The important thing is that he's the best candidate because he's the best Christian, honest man, can be trusted, and so can I. That's right.
Doc. I think a better ticket would be you and Tammy Baker.
No, I never wear any makeup.
Doc.
No.
Hold on. Are you a Republican or are you a Democrat? Are you a Republican?
I'm neither. I'm independent. I'm for.
Well, how can you run with Pat Robertson then?
No, I'm saying Pat Robertson should be the Republican candidate.
Or a Democrat.
No, I can be independent. I'm for whoever.
You're a loser.
No, more than half of the people in the United States do not vote. Do not vote. If I obtained their vote, I could win, believe it or not.
Just
for the people who don't vote.
Hey, let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever had an affair with Donna Rice?
No. Does that eliminate me? No.
Hey, that probably eliminates him, right? Now, what is this thing about? You told me on the phone that you invented Xerox.
I'll give you the exact.
That,
I work for Eastman Kodak in the Experimental Development Lab. They have some of the sharpest optical engineers. And one of my duties was to send a memo to each of the supervisors on the old mimeograph. And it wasn't such a great way of copying. In the back of my mind, we should have a better copy.
Have a girl who is here to defend live-in lovers, Kile Lee.
Kile Lee, where is she? Where is she?
Where's
Bring on Kile Lee. Here she is. Come on, it's here she is.
You were late coming on, thought maybe you were living in.
No, Kyle.
Yes.
Hold on, we have very little time here. You are in favor of people living together before they get married. Why are you in favor of that?
Because there's a lot of things that people can't know about each other, that they can't learn unless they live with each other. Have you ever had a friend when you were younger that you wanted to live with, maybe a roommate, you lived with them, you found out that they're a very different person than you.
But you don't have to live together to do that. I mean, you can be good friends. You don't have to live together.
Well, you know, so what you're saying then, you'd rather... Okay, let's say, for instance, that a couple doesn't get along, that they move in, they find out that they are, in fact, not compatible.
Kyle, even when they live together, they don't act the same as when they're married. Once you sign that certificate and the ring goes on the finger, everybody changes. I say, why don't you wait till you get married before you live in together?
Okay, so
why rush the whole thing?
Let's take a situation where people don't get along together and they move out. Would you rather have them move out after they're married? Wally George is pro-divorce. I want you all to know that.
I am pro-morality, and I say it's indecent for people to move in unless they're married.
No, are you saying that you're against premarital sex, or why is your reasoning that you're against living together?
I don't think you should shack up. Are you living with someone now?
No, Wally, but if...
Hey, listen, we got to bring you back. Will you come back and talk about this more?
Yes,
Our time is almost gone.
Okay.
And I want you to stay living by yourself. No shacking up. You promise me? I'll be right back.
Okay.
Good night, everybody. Thank you very much. And I'm going to tell Becky that I don't want magazines like Playboy even to exist. I say Playboy and Hugh Hefner should get out of here. So we'll take on Becky LeBeau and tell her why we think that Playboy has no place in our great America, okay? And then we have Rhonda Shear. Now, you've seen her here before. She's a former Miss Louisiana, and she's a nice-looking girl, and she has been an actress and a model, and now she's degrading herself by working as an off-color nightclub comic telling dirty jokes in nightclubs. So I'm going to say to Rhonda that she and no other women should be telling jokes in nightclubs. That's a man's job, right? And then later on, Antoine Marengo is going to come back here, and he's going to be arguing with me on euthanasia. That's mercy killing, and I say nobody has the right to pull the plug but God. How about that? Okay. All right, now, parental discretion is required for the following guest. If any children are in the room, send them to their cribs, because this is a disgrace. A disgrace. Here she is. Let's bring her on. Playboy model Becky LeBeau. Where's Becky? Her name is Becky, not Betty. It's Becky LeBeau. All right, now Becky, first of all, how in the world do you have the courage, hold it, gang, hold it down, the audience, how do you have the courage to walk out on our stage dressed like that? Isn't that horrifying?
They don't think it's horrifying.
But Becky, I mean, you're barely dressed. I mean, this is probably the least any guest has ever worn on my show.
What's wrong with my body?
Is there anything wrong?
Does it bother you?
Well, I'm sure there are millions of very modest people watching their television right now and are probably feeling embarrassed. You know, and I bet a lot of wives right now are leading their husband away from the television set. What do you think? Now, Becky, obviously, you're not a housewife or a secretary. I can tell that right away, you know. Can you imagine her coming to work like that as a secretary? Now, I understand, Becky, that you are a Playboy model.
Right.
And you work for the Playboy modeling agency.
Right.
And you have appeared in that ludicrous magazine, Playboy. Oh.
It's not ludicrous.
Now, let me ask you. When you appeared in Playboy, were you nude?
Of course I was nude. That's what Playboy is.
Yes or no? Please. You were nude.
Sure.
Oh. You mean you didn't hesitate walking in front of the camera, taking off all of your clothes in front of photographers and realizing that millions of people were going to be opening those pages and drooling over your naked body?
Well, I don't think anything's wrong with that. As long as you have a nice body, why should you be embarrassed of it?
Well, yes, I am. Who said that out there? I mean, I can't understand why an obviously healthy and attractive all-American girl would want to lower herself to appear in Playboy magazine. Now, if I had my way, I would outlaw magazines like Playboy in America.
Wait a second.
I want to close down magazines like Playboy. That's what I really want to do.
Playboy and Penthouse aren't bad magazines. They're not pornographic. I mean, they're art, and they show women in a beautiful way. I mean,
they show them start raving naked. Now, if that's not pornography, what you're doing right now is pornography, isn't it? Now, do you happen to know Hugh Hefner?
Yeah, I do. Nice man.
Now, there's another. Now, I understand that Hefner sometimes watches our show. And if Hugh happens to be watching right now, I want to tell him I think he is a really decadent old man. What do you think about that? I am embarrassed about Hugh Hefner. Look at the kind of lifestyle he leads. He has this big mansion, you know, the Playboy mansion, where he walks around in his silk pajamas. And hundreds of beautiful, near-naked girls wandering around the Playboy mansion. And old man Hef can snap his fingers, and any girl he wants spends the night with him. Is that any way to live? Yeah!
I think you're just jealous. I think that you could just...
Wait, do you really think that I'd like to live like Hefner? Can you really, Becky, seriously, can you really imagine me walking around the Playboy mansion in my silk pajamas? Can you imagine that? Would never be that ludicrous. How obvious can he be? I mean, how obvious can the man be? He doesn't even wear clothes. You know where he spends most of his time? He wears pajamas 24 hours a day. I I mean, but that is kind of a decadent lifestyle, wouldn't you think?
No, it's not decadent. I mean, that's, you know, he enjoys having women, and
he certainly does enjoy having women.
And I mean, he's in the position to have it, and he has enough money, and you know, there's nothing wrong with nude girls walking around.
But I wonder how many of those girls, and there's dozens and dozens who live there on the estate.
Right.
How many of those has he taken to bed, would you imagine?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's not a necessity to go to bed with him just because the girls are staying there. He just opens his heart and, you know.
Do you really? Wait, do you? Wait, hey, that isn't all he opens. What do you think? He opens his heart. Oh, come on. He probably also opened up his wallet. What do you think? Now, what would you do if you were wandering around the pool at the Hefner Playboy Mansion and he snapped at you and said, Becky, I would like to have you spend the night with Hugh Baby. Now, what would you say to
As
you?
a matter of fact, he wouldn't do that because I've been in that position.
Why not?
Well, because he's a nicer guy than you think, Wally.
Well, why wouldn't he ask you? He asks everybody else. Why would he leave you out?
That's not true. He doesn't ask everybody else.
Anybody he wants to spend the night with, he asks them. Now what would you do, Becky, if he asked you, Becky LeBeau, I want you to spend the night with me? What would you say to him?
Well, if he asked me that, I wouldn't spend the night with him because I'm not that type of person.
Yeah, but you posed nude in his magazine.
But you're making the assumption because I posed nude in his magazine that automatically I'm going to go to bed with him.
Do you think... Hey. Let's take a vote here. How many of you think that if Hugh Hefner asked Becky, she would spend the night? Say yes. How many of you think she would not spend the night with him?
She'd be out of the show!
Becky, they're on my side.
Not all of them, not all of them.
But you know what?
What?
Not only is Hugh Hefner decadent, but he also is spineless. Do you know that I have invited Hefner several times through his office to appear on the hot seat to let me take him on it and let me ask him questions and let him defend himself because he knows that I've been attacking him all the time. And Hefner has not had the courage. His people says, Hefner, his Playboy people called me and said, Mr. Hefner would not lower himself to appear on the hot seat. Oh, come on. I say Hefner hasn't got the guts, right? Yeah! I'll be right back.
But most
Welcome back to Hot Seat. In case you just joined us, sitting on my right, that is not David Kennedy. Hey, how many think that maybe we should have Becky replace David Kennedy? No, we would never do that. No. Now, Becky, we were discussing Hugh Hefner and all that. Another thing that I have to say that I can't believe this. Hefner had the audacity and the gall to pay $1 million to that bow wow Jessica Hahn. Come on. Now, why in the world would he pay Jessica Hahn $1 million to pose semi-naked in Playboy? Isn't that kind of ludicrous?
Yeah, you got me on that one, Wally. I can't answer you.
She really is. And #1 bimbo, isn't she?
Wow.
Okay. Now, you also, I understand, you have a poster also out.
Yeah, I've got a couple of them actually. But
is this one?
That's one of them, yeah.
All right. Okay, gang. Now you see.
Let's see you, Wally. Come on, Wally.
See what she's doing. Anything she can to make money off of her body. Is that ludicrous or what? Now let me see what. Oh, Becky, this is terrifying. Oh. don't think I should show this to the audience. What do you think? Well, all right. There it is. Becky, let me tell you something. I want to register my protest for this ludicrous poster, and here it is. So much for your poster. What do you think about that? All right, now.
Well, it doesn't matter if you do that. I just shot a new one last week. It'll be better than that one, so.
Well, wait, you shot another poster?
Last week, brand new Becky poster.
And it's better than that one?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have less clothes on?
I'm wearing a lot less, yeah.
She's wearing But Becky, I'll never understand. We've had a lot of girls on this show who wear a lot of hardly any clothes, and they pose naked in magazines. Why do you choose this kind of a life? Why don't you want to be a nice, sweet little girl? I mean, why do you want to be the kind of a girl who runs around naked? What made you decide to do that?
Well, I am a nice, sweet little girl. I just happen to run around naked too.
Wait. Do you believe sweet little girls run around naked? Yeah! Do Mom and Dad know that you do this?
Oh, I think they've heard, yeah.
Now, when you get married, will you stop all this nonsense and lead a decent life for a change?
Well, I don't think my life is indecent.
Well, are you going to continue to do this, you know, forever?
Well, as long as my body holds up, sure.
Let's go to the audience. Okay, we have some questioners for you. Can I have your first name and your question?
My name is Kevin, and I was just wondering, is that plastic fashion you're wearing?
Yeah.
Is that a plastic skirt that you have? Okay, over that thing.
Let's see it again.
It has a zipper all the way down the back.
Yeah.
All right, yes, sir. Your first name and your question.
My name is Chris, and I was wondering how much you got paid by Playboy to pose, not
naked,
but as in money-wise.
Yes.
Not anything else, but money.
How much did they pay you to pose naked in Playboy?
Oh, the rates are always different. I mean, I've done so many different features that it varies. I don't even remember.
What's the most that you've gotten?
I don't know, a couple $1,000.
A couple $1,000, okay? For all together nude, huh?
Well, you know, I don't know. I think actually that was just for a topless.
Okay, what would you get for an all together nude?
Probably about $20,000.
$20,000? Are you serious?
Yeah,
20,000 bucks. Okay, next.
Next. Is that it?
20,000. That's a lot of bananas. So, yes, your first name?
Chris.
Yes, Chris.
What month were you in, and is that an edible top?
Wait a minute. Get out of here. Terrible. Yes.
Hi, Becky. My name is Ty. I got a sore throat.
Hi.
I was wondering what size...
Never mind. Get him out of here, too. Never mind. What was that again?
I was wondering what size shoes you wore.
Oh, what size shoes?
Oh, shoes.
What size shoes?
Like 38 double D.
That was not your shoe size, and you're out of here. Hot seat. She's been here before. You have known her as an actress, as a model, as the former Miss Louisiana, and now she has degraded herself into being a sleazy stand-up nightclub comic. Let's hear it for Rhonda Shear. Here she. Where is Rhonda? Bring her on. Here's Rhonda.
The only word in your vocabulary is bimbo. What an education you must have had.
Well, listen, when I
have one question. Why was this in your dressing room?
All I can say is wishful thinking, honey.
Wait a minute. Is she sick or what? No! What a look. Now you see how far down the rung she has slipped? She has now gone to the bottom of the pit. She is now a sleazy, degrading, stand-up comic telling dirty jokes in nightclubs. Is that any job for a woman?
That's why you invited me here.
No. Why have you degraded yourself to be a
Comedy is hot, and besides, women are funny because you men give us lots of material, especially you, Wally. I mean, you know what's the matter with you, Wally? Your brain is 2/10. 2/10 the size of a normal brain. It's true.
Hold on. Listen.
You know, Wally considered himself to be a great sex object, and it was true. Many women objected to having sex with him.
I am not going to sit here and be insulted by a big bimbo. What do you think?
A big bimbo. I've been upgraded from a little bimbo to a big bimbo.
You are a bimbo with a capital B.
Babes in Comedy. That's what we're doing.
Let me see
Babes in
that,
Comedy
Rhonda.
night.
Here it is, folks. Babes in Comedy. There it is. Great. Here we go. Babes. Hey, hold on. Hey, the name of her show is Babes in Comedy. We got to change it to Bimbos in Comedy, right? Now, Rhonda, it was bad enough. Hold it down, the audience. It was bad enough when you came on the show here, and you were a. Don't dangle your leg around like that.
He just can't take it.
And will you please pull down your zipper there, please?
You know what, Wally? I'd say the same thing to you, but then we wouldn't see anything. If Wally got excited and walked into a wall, he'd break his nose.
I'm warning you. You have really gone down to the bottom of the barrel, haven't you, Rhonda?
I'm having a great time because it's time for women in comedy because we are funny.
Women aren't funny.
Oh, look at the box office. What are you going to see? We're all going to go see Bette Midler. We're all having a great time.
Hey, look at the so-called funny women.
Yeah.
Joan Rivers, a real bow wow, isn't she? I mean, let's face it, Rhonda. Most female comics are dogs. What do you think? Now,
Not anymore. It's a whole new world. It's a whole new world.
It's a whole new
That's
world.
Right.
Yeah, all right.
And we make them laugh, and we make you laugh, and we make other women laugh.
I say that in America, women were not meant to stand up in dirty, smoke-filled nightclubs and tell dirty jokes. That's a man's job, isn't it? I mean, I saw you in a nightclub in Hollywood on the Sunset
I know, it keeps
Strip.
coming back and coming back. Or just
See her. I went to see her act strictly for research. Isn't that right?
And he stayed for 2 days.
No, but women have
We
no...
discuss everything. We discuss men. We discuss politics. It isn't just sex.
But you tell dirty, risque...
No, we
You've been dirty
don't.
and risque right here in my program.
Well, just the shoe fits. Look who I'm talking to. I can tell clean jokes.
You don't know a clean joke. You've never even heard a clean joke. Hey,
You're a clean joke.
hey. Hey, take a look at her. She is the original dirty joke. There she is right there. What do you think?
Good looking, too.
Now,
Well, thank you.
now, I understand that you have a few of your friends.
A few other female comedians.
A few other female
who
comedians.
headline all over the country. They open for other women, other men, and they're
Are
doing
they
very
as
well.
hilarious as you
They
are?
are hilarious.
All right, now I want to see just how. First, hold on, gang in the audience, please. Let's just see how hilarious you are.
All right, can I bring out?
No,
I'm not
you.
gonna
Give us. Give us a couple more of your fantastic lines, and let's see how you're going to convulse our audience.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Okay. But this isn't. Should I stand up? I can't stand up. All right. Living in LA is very interesting. It makes you paranoid. It really does. I've been very paranoid living in Los Angeles. As a matter of fact, I tried to join Paranoids Anonymous, but I think they were holding the meetings behind my back. As a matter of fact, living in Los Angeles, I went into this very nice restaurant recently. I really did it in Los Angeles. The sign said intimate dining. I walked in and the waiter tried to French kiss me. Thank God I didn't ask for the
See, they're turning on you, Rhonda. They're turning on you.
Not. I'm trying. As a matter of fact, I'm from New Orleans. As a matter of fact, I'm half Cajun. I'm half Jewish. I'm a K-Jap. And the food in New Orleans is great. As a matter of fact, when I come back, I have to diet. Right now, I'm trying to get back to my original weight, 7 pounds, 9 ounces.
Oh, that's cute. One more try, Rhonda.
Okay. Have you seen those new serial numbers on condoms, Wally? Oh, I guess not. You've never had to that far.
This is just a sample of what her stupid friends. We'll be right back. Stay where you are. Now, David, our final guest on the hot seat.
Okay.
For a return appearance. I can't believe we have this guy back again.
Next up we have, let me introduce you first, okay?
Go ahead, David.
Next up we have the star of KNAC Radio and its heavy metal so-called music program, Thrasher.
It's nice to be back, Wally.
Back again.
It's certainly nice to be back here in front of the Anaheim Young Republicans Club, Wally. Thank you very much.
Now, Thrasher. Hey, we go from a flasher to Thrasher. What do you think? Hey, I'll tell you, we have a perfect show here.
Hey, who was that sweet girl in the red dress?
Sweet girl?
Who was that girl?
Ah, porno queen.
She was kind of bashful, but we had a nice conversation.
Hey, if you want to stay healthy, stay away from her, right? Hey, now listen.
Now what?
From a porno star to a champion of the illegal aliens to the heavy metal freako, Thrasher.
I think I got a little support here. Have we got any heavy metal guys in the crowd here tonight? We got any KNAC listeners in here?
You brought your family with you.
These are my
Thrasher,
kids.
Now, hold on. We are here to discuss, earlier with Brandy, we discussed the FCC ruling that now, and I can't believe this, that says it's okay to broadcast pornographic films on commercial television. Now, you're on radio, which you're affected now, because now the FCC says that radio stations can broadcast obscenity after midnight, and I suppose you're in favor of that. And of course he's in favor of it because he's obscene all the time.
Well, what are you talking about, Wally? I mean, this show is an obscenity, and it's on during prime time.
Hey, wait a minute. This show is standing up for what is great for America, right?
Oh, I see. It's Wally George, the great interpreter of the Constitution of the United States of America.
George,
That's pretty close, yeah.
It's Wally George putting punks like you in your place. Now, tell me why you're in favor of the FCC
Here's
ruling.
what I'm in favor of.
Okay, what?
Whether it be pornographic or not. First of all, why don't you define what's pornographic to me? Why don't you define obscenity, define pornography? Define it.
I'll tell you. Yeah, right. Hey, if you want... if he wants to see a perfect example of pornography, he should strip naked and stand in front of a mirror. There is a perfect answer. Now, you know what pornography is.
Well,
pornography
if you're talking about sex acts on TV, okay, then that's pornography.
And dirty, filthy language, that's pornographic,
now,
that's obscene.
Here's my point.
I know where your point is, right here, pal.
Oh, my God. Censorship is what I'm opposed to, Wally. Censorship. Out-and-out censorship. I think it ought to be the people of the United States of America to decide what is obscene and what is not, what's pornographic and what's not, and most of all, what they want to watch.
Or listen to.
Or listen to.
Yeah, but you guys...
The choice is up to them, not some reactionary geek like you!
Oh.
I'm telling you the truth. You're going to throw me out again, aren't you?
Reactionary geek, no.
Don't you call me a reactionary geek, you liberal lunatic pervert! I have heard you on that raunchy radio station, and can I tell you something? I've been in broadcasting for many years, and you're a disgrace to broadcasting.
I think your attitude is a disgrace, Mr. Wally George.
No, hey,
and I think that you even believe you can speak for, good, solid, red-blooded American citizens.
I do.
And you speak for all of them. You're totally nuts. You're out there. You're. Is this a new do, Wally?
Hey,
what's this, the John Denver look over here?
Wait, he says I don't speak for the majority of Americans.
No, I don't think you have a right to do that.
Let's take a vote. Do I speak for the majority of Americans? There you go. There you go.
Great, the Anaheim Brain Trust. Great. Oh, good.
No, they are decent Americans, but you don't know what decent means, does he? Thrasher.
My contention is...
No, but my contention... As a good American, Thrasher, you should be standing up for what I'm standing up for.
I am a good American, and I stand up for the Constitution of the United States. You're talking about your interpretation of the First Amendment. You would censor everything that you don't like and not let the people of the United States decide. Who want to decide, Wally or us? I'm a little nervous.
No, I'm a little nervous. Hey, you should be nervous, pal, because you're going to be out of business before long, right? Let me tell you this. Hey, let me just say one thing, Thrasher. The people, as you can see here, the people of America have had enough raunch, enough filth, enough obscenity on radio and television. And people like you, your days are numbered. And right now, your days are over. You're out of here. And now we have another of our friends back with us, or foes. He always is here to defend the illegals, so go ahead, David.
Making another of his many visits to Hot Seat and talking about his favorite subject, as usual, Manuel Lopez talking about illegal aliens.
Now, Manuel, you are fighting for more rights for illegal aliens. There's lots of new legislation pending to give illegal aliens more rights. They should not be discriminated against on the job market. I say illegal aliens are just that. Illegal people in this country. They are criminals, they are crooks, and they have no rights. All right, now, Manuel, how do you answer that?
I was hoping the spirit of Christmas that you would get away from this Scrooge mentality that you have.
Even at Christmas time?
I was hoping that...
Hold on, Manuel.
You would recognize the rights of all individuals.
Wait a minute, Manuel.
As an example of all the religions on earth, recognize the dignity of man. And I was hoping that you would change for the holidays at least and give the undocumented, at least
illegal alien,
the dignity of their existence and of their rights. But
Manuel,
I see you haven't changed.
Even on Christmas time, on any time, Wally stands for what is right for America. And Manuel, how can you say that people should not? Now, there's this big legislation pending, and Manuel's going crazy because he says illegal aliens are being discriminated against on the job market. Now, I tell you, Americans should discriminate against illegal aliens on the job market because too many of your pals, the illegal aliens, are coming across the border taking jobs away from American citizens, right? And Manuel, that is wrong. There are too many American employers who are actually firing American citizens and giving their jobs to illegal aliens. That's wrong, Manuel.
Well, basically, Wally, I think a lot of the people are firing themselves because their performance is not up to par. And on the job market, you have to perform. You have to be up to snuff. If you don't, you're out the door. In the same way you kick people out of the studio, a lot of employers kick people out of the studio that don't meet their standards. People don't meet your standards. You have a right to do that. In the same way, a company has a right to get rid of somebody that's not producing. And that's basically what governs the labor market. And I would say that in the main, people that are economic refugees are people that are here to show that they can perform and also to earn a living. And a lot of our people are spoiled. And I think that's one of the things that's wrong here.
Oh, come on. The reason the employers are getting rid of American workers and hiring illegals is because they can pay the illegals cheaper wages. Yeah. And I say, if the illegal aliens were not here to begin with, they could not be hired, and that's why we got to sweep them all out of here and send them back where they came from.
I think the major problem we're having, Wally, is that we have corporations that are going abroad, and they're leaving basically the crumbs for the Americans and the undocumented to fight over. But the real jobs are going to Hong Kong, they're going to Korea, and they're going abroad. We have runaway corporations that, in my judgment, are the real illegals. We have to do what Lee Iacocca has done, invest in America in the way that Chrysler was brought up basically from the ashes, just like the Phoenix. We have to do the same thing here in this country. We have to develop our own industry so that it's attractive to the American worker. And we're not doing that. We're allowing it to escape.
Hold on. Hey, Manuel, what we're doing here is we are hurting the working people here in the United States of America by hiring your friends, the illegal aliens. Now, you say they shouldn't be discriminated against. We have to discriminate against the illegal aliens. They are here illegally. They have no rights. Yeah. Hey, if they want to have the rights of all the rest of us, if they don't want to be discriminated against, then let them apply for legal American citizenship.
Manuel. It seems to me, Wally, that you missed the point. The point is that the
point is on your head. That's where it is.
The economic structure at this point does not allow the American worker to compete for the high-tech jobs. Those jobs are going abroad. Then we're shipping dollars out to buy everything from Korea, from Japan, from these other countries. The Japanese at this point are really our masters, and it's really our fault. We have to reverse that. We have to reverse it and give the American people meaningful jobs and not...
But illegal aliens are not American people.
Have them fight to see who's going to become fruit pickers and toilet cleaners. I think the real concern should be how to provide meaningful jobs for the American worker.
Yeah, but illegal aliens are not American workers. They are criminals who are taking jobs away from legal American workers. Don't you understand that, you dimwit? You understand that?
I think you're a dimwit, and all of the rest of you guys are dimwits.
You'll get his in due time. Okay.
Because if we're going to concentrate on debating the subject, we should stick to the subject and not this ad hominem type of stuff. That just proves that you can't deal with a subject if you have to call me a
Manuel,
dimwit.
you refuse to deal with the subject. Every time you come on this show, you refuse to admit what is fact, that the illegal aliens are criminals. They're in this country illegally, and they should not be here until they are legal citizens, and they should not be on welfare, which they are.
But they're not.
They should not be
They're
living
not, because
in public housing.
we're going through the amnesty program now, and very few undocumented people are on welfare. Very few undocumented people have arrest, and very few undocumented people do not have jobs because they wouldn't qualify for amnesty. And according to our good friend Harold Lezal, the program's very successful. There's over 1 million applicants that have qualified for amnesty. So I think that there's a misconception about undocumented people.
I'm against amnesty for anyone who is in this country illegal. You know,
it's too late. It's already a fact.
No, Manuel, as a lawyer, you should be for law and order. And illegal aliens...
I'm for justice and fairness.
David, where have you been? This is we did a whole show, and you just showed up for the last segment.
If you talk to your friends, the police, and get them to clear traffic up a little bit, I could get here on time. It's raining out. They don't buy them.
Now, David, we have a familiar face. Will you introduce him and tell me why he's here?
Okay, here now to make another appearance on the hot seat of many, we have a guy boosting the candidacy, the presidential candidacy of Jesse Jackson, John Wright. What a terrible thing to be here.
All right, John, now listen, you have come on this program countless times berating Ronald Reagan, our great president. Now, how in the world can you possibly support Jesse Jackson, who is probably the worst candidate I can think of for president?
Wally, if you can call Reagan a good president, I can call a dog a lion.
Oh!
Jesse Jackson is the best candidate out there right now. Jesse Jackson is speaking to the American people, and he is telling them what they want to hear and what needs to be said.
Wait a minute.
This country needs to be saved, not some millionaire's bank account, as Ronald Reagan is presently doing.
Hey, I want to tell you this, what Jesse Jackson is doing. I'll tell you what he's doing. He is running around conducting foreign policy. He has gone over to Cuba and hugged, embraced Fidel Castro.
Well, at least, Wally, Jesse Jackson has a foreign policy. Reagan doesn't have a foreign policy.
How can you...
Ronald Reagan is like an idiot they let out of a closet every 3 months or so and throw darts at a map.
Oh.
That's his...
Wait. How can you defend the fact that he has embraced Fidel Castro, and also I saw a picture of him hugging Yasser Arafat on the PLO?
Defend that just like you defend Ronald Reagan talking about the South Africans are good people.
Well, listen, hey, let me tell you something, John.
Let me tell you something. Yeah, the South Africans are good people. They're Hitlerite.
Fidel Castro is a communist, and
so what?
And
Ronald Reagan talks to Gorbachev. Gorbachev is a communist.
Hey,
Ronald Reagan talks to Deng Xiaoping. He's a communist.
Jesse Jackson has no right to conduct foreign policy. Only the president can conduct foreign policy. Yes, David.
John, I can see why you might be for Jesse Jackson for president, but you don't really think he's going to win, do you?
Of course I feel he's going to. The only thing standing between Jesse Jackson and the presidency is the white people who are prejudiced with things like that coming out of their mouth.
Wait, hold on. John. Wait a minute, John.
The only way he could win would be if he has Wally running as vice president.
No, we wouldn't let Wally within 100 feet of the White House.
Wait a minute. Hold it. John, First of all, Jesse Jackson, you know, Jesse Jackson is not qualified to even run. He's never held public office. He's never been elected to any office in his life. He doesn't know how to be president.
And Ronald Reagan, as senile as he is, he ain't holding no office either.
Oh, come on. Do you know? Hold on, John. Do you know Jesse Jackson? Do you know that the axe is about to fall on Jesse Jackson because the word is out now in the press that any day now a story is going to hit that Jesse Jackson has been cheating on his wife for 20 years.
Wally, if you feel like writing anything that you want in America, you can write it. But proving it is another thing. That's just like people talking about Ronald Reagan is falling asleep in meetings and stuff. He says it's not true. But the way our foreign policy is going, it is true. Well, he's asleep at the helm. He ain't doing nothing.
How do you answer the fact then?
I don't believe a word of it.
Oh, you don't believe anything they say about Jesse Jackson, but you believe everything they say about Ronald Reagan.
No, I don't believe everything. I'm saying things that are proven.
Well, here's something that was proven about your pal Jesse Jackson when he was running Operation Push, which was supposed to be, which was supposed to be a charity organization to help underprivileged black children. It was discovered that Jesse Jackson was not doing this out of the kindness of his heart, as he said he was. Jesse Jackson was collecting a salary from Operation Push of $50,000 a year. How do you answer that?
How much money does the man who runs the Ford Foundation make a year?
Hey, but this is supposed
How much money does the Ford Foundation is supposed to be charity too?
John.
Answer the question, Wally.
No, I'm asking you. Jesse Jackson, for years and years, let people think he was doing a charitable thing by running Operation Push, and he was pulling down $50 grand a year.
What about the guy that runs the United Way campaign? Right here recently, they just got through convicting him of taking $150,000 in loan.
Well, that's just it. They convicted him. See?
Yeah, but I'm saying he was taking that. He was taking that in addition to his salary.
Well, I'll tell you this. Jesse Jackson is not qualified. Jesse Jackson has been a fraud. And Jesse Jackson is not out to help anybody but Jesse Jackson. Good night, everybody. All right. Now, David. Oh, boy, just looking at this creepo, it makes me, All right. Let's bring on let's bring on our first victim of the night on the hot seat.
First up tonight, Wally, is our Hollywood liberal lunatic, David Jeffries.
David. Let me tell you, David, you see, just looking at you, these Americans can see a phony when they see one.
Hey, come on, sweetheart. I come here with love, man.
Hey! Hold on. Hey, hold on. He's calling me sweetheart. He thinks he's up on Santa Monica Boulevard in Hollywood.
Hey, you know something? Let me just say something. You know, you're a big man sitting behind that desk calling me sweetheart. Why don't you come on over here and call me sweetheart?
All right.
Wally, baby. Hey, I want to tell you something.
Hold on. let's get into the issues here. You are, I mean, being the liberal jerk that you are, I understand that you want to take all the proceeds from the lottery here in California, and instead of giving it to the schools, he wants to give it to AIDS research.
No, let me explain.
No, let me tell you first. Okay. Listen, you don't have to give any money to AIDS research. We know what causes AIDS. We don't need any research.
Hey, let me tell you something. If you know what causes AIDS, if you know what causes AIDS, Dollface, then you should be terrified. That's right. Hey, I want to tell you something. I dig your audience here, man. It sounds like feeding time at the zoo. There's some peanuts for the monkeys here. Hey, there you go. Hey, creeps.
You know, whenever we get these little idiots come on, whenever they come on with these idiot phonies who come on with their glasses and their beads and their and no socks on.
Hey, smells better than your show, let me tell you. Hey, come on, Wally.
Whenever you come on here, you see, what they have to do is they have to attack my audience because they can't face up to real Americans.
You always talk about them being Americans.
Yeah.
They're Americans?
They're Americans.
Yeah, well, hey, Charles Manson's an American, too. You know, that's about what these guys are like. Let me tell you something about this group. Hey, Doll, this group looks like the North Wing of the county jail.
Hey, you know why? Do you know why he doesn't want to even have to have this homosexual lovemaking stopped, because, you know, that might cramp his social life, huh?
Let me answer that.
Wait, I understand, and I want you to answer this. I understand that you go along with what happened in New York. In New York City, they had a gay rights bill that was passed, and he wants to have a gay rights bill passed all over America.
Let me tell you something, man.
Yeah.
Can I answer you, please?
Go ahead.
Okay, let me say this. Better a year.
Hold it.
Hey, come on. Better a year with a queer, better a day with a gay, than 5 minutes with these creeps. Right
here. You, pal, are not good enough to shine any one of these people's shoes. You're in favor of a national gay rights bill because, you know, the gays like to say that they are a minority. They're not a minority. Homosexuality is a chosen lifestyle. They choose to be gay, so they do not deserve a special bill, do they?
Hey, can I answer that? Let me answer that. Hey, let me answer. All right, now, come on, Wallums. You mean to tell me you've never gotten it on with David here once or twice? Hey, come on.
Listen, I'm not going to put up with that kind of a moron for one more minute. He's out of here. I'll be right back. There we are.
Also provide the community and children with an educational program where you can learn and help preserve our precious wildlife. Please lend a helping hand. Call them and volunteer your services, or make a tax-deductible contribution. So listen to the call of the wild and support Keepers of the Wild, a truly fine organization.
All right, now, David, let's get back to our next guest on the hot seat, if you will.
This one certainly looks a little better than the last one, but...
Yeah, but don't let looks deceive you, David.
We don't know yet.
Okay.
Next up is Patrick Hickey, who is an executive with the Moonies religious group.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
All right, now, at least you're wearing socks, I see. All right, Patrick Hickey, how long have you been... He has a strange stare in his eyes. I think he's trying to brainwash me already. Now, Patrick, how long have you been a Moonie?
13 years.
13 years.
I was a ski instructor in Montana when I met the church 13 years ago. I had been a draft dodger in Berkeley, and I saw the light, Wally. I'm on your side.
Hey, he was a draft dodger. When he saw the light, he joined Reverend Moon. Now, you know what really bothers me about Reverend Moon and the Moonies is you people like to cloak yourself in the flag, but I wonder if people really know about what you do and how you recruit and the things you do. As I have seen, people have told me who have investigated you, and I have research that shows that you do a lot of brainwashing and it really is more of a cult than a religion. What do you think?
You know, I've heard the same thing said about you, Wally, but that's not true about you, and it's not true about Reverend Moon. Well, let me tell you why Reverend Moon loves America so much.
No, wait a minute. First, let me tell you. No, first of all, tell me why, first, before you tell me what a great American he is,
he's not an American, he loves America.
Tell me why tell me first why he went to jail for tax evasion.
Okay, let me tell you why. Let me tell you. He went to jail in America because of his strong stand against communism. He was a populist figure. You said tonight in your editorial...
He went to jail because he didn't pay his income tax.
No,
that's
he paid
why.
his income taxes. He was singled out because of his anti-communist stance. The reason why, and I wanted to tell you why he loves America, he was freed by American forces, General MacArthur, the Battle of Incheon during the Korean War. They saved his life. He feels he has a debt and loves this country. You read the Washington Times, don't you, Wally?
Yes.
You do. Reverend Moon created the Washington Times. You know that. Does that mean he's bad or you're bad or he's you're a
What
Moonie?
I'm saying is, what the Reverend Moon and the Moonies are very clever people.
I hope so.
They have wrapped themselves around the American flag, but some of the things that the Reverend Moon has to say, I worry about. Let me quote the Reverend Moon, this great American that he supports. He says this to his followers, quote, the Reverend Moon, I am a thinker, and I am your brain. What do you think about that? Now the Reverend Moon also says, and I quote him, what I wish must be your wish. What do you think about that?
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
I would like to think if he was so religious that the Reverend Moon would say, what is God's wish should be your wish, right?
Yes. He does say that.
But evidently the Reverend Moon thinks he's better than God because he says, what I wish, you must wish.
Okay, Wally, let me ask you something, because I know you're a church-going person.
Yes.
Isn't it true that Jesus once said, you must hate your father and your mother? Now, yes, he did. Yes, he did. But that is, if I say that, everybody thinks that's taken out of context.
Where did Jesus
I
ever
can show
say
you
that?
in Matthew where he said that.
Jesus did not say.
Yes, he did.
Wait,
yes, he did.
Hold on, pal.
But you know what he meant? I'm not putting Jesus down. What he meant was, no, again, that's taken out of context. What he said was, you have to love God even more than your own family. Jesus said that. Reverend Moon says we have to love God more than anything else. We're religious people.
All right, but here's what I also would like to see you answer, and I know you have no answer for it.
Give me the question.
Is I've done a lot of research into the Moonies, and I know how you recruit people. You get people who are interested in your organization, which is the Unification Church, correct?
We get an audience, and they all agree with us, just like yours.
No. Isn't your church the Unification Church?
Certainly is.
Or the Unification Church. Here's the methods that you you employ, and I have my researchers who will back me up, and I have the documentation here. You get people in to your church for a week-long get-together, those who are interested. You give them very little sleep. You brainwash them and drum the word of the Reverend Moon into them for about a week. Then, if they decide to join the Unification Church, do you know what the Reverend Moon has you do? No, he has you turn over every single thing you own to Reverend Moon.
That's not true. It's not true, Wally. Again,
wait, but here it is, right here.
Yeah.
The Reverend, when you become a member of the Unification Church, you are asked to give all of your earthly possessions. That's money, that's land, that's houses. Give all your earthly possessions.
Let me tell you something, Wally.
How about that? You like that?
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Reverend Moon didn't get much from me in the way of earthly possessions.
But that isn't an answer.
No, the answer is that is not true. What Reverend Moon has succeeded in doing is to come to America. Many people who have been alienated from traditional churches have found something new in what he's doing. He appreciates other Christian churches. He loves this country, and so do the members of the church. That's why we're doing things like the Washington
You
Times.
are not telling me the truth because one of the things when you join the church, you are asked to give your earthly possessions, everything you own.
I told you I didn't have much. I had a Volkswagen.
But that is the case. Don't they? They do indeed. They do indeed. Hold on.
Look. I'm from a Catholic family. I have a cousin who's a Trappist monk.
She's the owner. Mention my name and you get a special discount on a free autograph photo of yours truly, okay?
Time for our last guest, and he's been on before. He comes back now. He's the head of an organization called HATE. H-A-T-E, Humans Against Television Evangelists. So come on. His name is Rick Scouler, and Rick, you are back now because you say that religious leaders on television and radio and so forth should not be suggesting to their viewers who they should vote for president.
Correct. That's correct.
Why shouldn't they have the right to do that?
Because politics has no business being in the church.
Hey, the church people...
They're not even a church, they're crooks, so why should they be promoting politics?
I'm sick and tired of you and people like you who are constantly picking on these TV people.
They need it. They need to be arrested and put in prison is what they need. We need to get them off the air.
You need to be arrested and put in a mental institution. What do you think? Hey, you know what? Hey, he thinks he's really glamorous Hollywood with his white tie and the glasses on top of his head.
Wally, what we're trying to do...
He thinks he looks like some movie star. Instead, he looks like some punk in West Hollywood on Santa Monica Boulevard.
You'd know, Wally, because you're down there every night, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, pick it up on the little boys.
Yeah, I'm down there checking out the scene, and I find you on the corner every night down there.
Tell you, Wally, what we're trying to do,
What you're trying to do is kill God in America.
What I'm trying to do is make you shut up for a minute so I can talk, okay?
Wait a minute.